Welcome to the Pimp My Setup highlights for episode number 172. The first setup was submitted by Matthew. Mainly, I would say not to put the computer there because it does kind of take away from how clean it is, and I think putting that to the side of the desk would work. Yeah, I think really it comes down to upgrading his equipment and then, of course, theme. Matthew scored an 88. The next setup was submitted by Ethan. Yeah, I mean, we got this one photo. The next photo shows the cable management. There's a photo after that that kind of shows he's got this huge ass room that looks really nice. And then one more photo that shows sort of like he's got the dresser and some interesting stuff, a salt lamp. I think the usability is a little bit odd because I would have guessed him sitting where the cinema display is, sitting more centered there, but he's sitting into that corner side, which it doesn't look tight at all, but then using that left display seems to be a little bit hard to do. I think this desk isn't really ideal considering he has quite a bit of room. A bigger L desk would be a lot nicer, all the way up to where the old iMac is in the corner there, and then all the way wrapped up to where the dresser is. I think if he utilized that space, he would be able to get maybe a little bit more usability out of it. Ethan scored an 80. The next setup was submitted by Marcel. The complete usability side of it, it's perfect. He's not in too much of a tight spot. He's not really worried about, not having room to use his mouse and such. But here's the thing, the IKEA Bacant is and can be used as a sit-stand desk if you get, I think it's like an upgrade or like the more expensive model, whatever, but I don't think that's what this is. So the cable management is a little bit confusing to me. This one is also lacking of a theme. I think that's safe to say. I don't know, would you say, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if he's going for a simplistic theme, then maybe it's okay to not have anything on the wall because that kind of mood light, and I think there's like a picture frame off to the left, so maybe that's enough.
I want to know, is he like in a living room? It's hard for him to, take full ownership of the corner.
Which is fine.
Yeah, regardless, I mean, he did a wonderful job. Marcel scored an 84. The next setup was submitted by Brandon. I had a little bit of confusion here. He's going for black and red, but it's not fully there. And I think that's because of the desktop. Although it's perfect, I love the desktop. Considering what he has throughout the whole setup, I was really hoping for black furniture. And actually the desktop itself, like that whole part of it's really clean, really nice. Usability is awesome. Great job. But I think the shelves are really hurting this setup. The boxes, they gotta go. And really just condensing the shelves will really help. Brandon scored an 86. The next setup was submitted by Leo. Yes, again, it's lacking a theme. I think that's safe to say. Yes, it's clean. Yes, it's simple, but where is the rest of the stuff? He's got this, I'm pretty sure that's just the speaker controller, but he doesn't have speakers. Leo scored a 78. The next setup was submitted by Andre. He's just got a lot of accessories, and he uses them. This is not your typical plug and play setup with like the simple overused products. This guy's next level, and I really appreciate that. I feel like the computer shouldn't be there. It's in a bad spot for where his legs are gonna be, you know what I mean? And I think because of that, although it's sexy, it really should be somewhere else. The overwhelming white surrounding the setup is a little too much. So I would say maybe a little bit of splash of color. I see you have purple throughout the setup. A little bit more purple would look badass.
I kind of like the amount of personality and stuff on the wall. I think it looks fine. Maybe add maybe one or two things, but don't overcrowd the wall with a bunch of stuff.
Andre scored a 90. The next setup was submitted by Braden. Cable management, it's good. The floor is good. He's hiding all the other cables behind the obscene amount of things he has on his desk. And that's kind of where I'm getting at. You got to condense just a tad. It looks a little bit tight. The computer should be under the desk. The desk, it's cool. Maybe not put the monitor on that box. He has red underglow. He has a red chair. He has the red mouse. What color are you going for, man? I think that poster with Spider-Man and all the different guys on there, that's cool, but it should be above the monitor and not put to the sides.
Yeah, I just take everything off the wall and start fresh. Maybe try to organize it a little better.
Clean slate. Braden scored an 82. The next setup was submitted by Julius. This is just a sexy setup. When we put this on Setup Spotlight a while ago, everyone was like, bro, paint the walls, paint the walls. And it would make such an overwhelming difference in this setup because really breaking it down, it's got everything, the usability, the cable management. It's just a very nice setup. One thing I wasn't a big fan of was those curtains. I think that kind of kills the whole overwhelming badassery, if you will. Imagine if he had black curtains, gray walls. it would just look so good. It would look so good. Julius scored a 96. Final setup was submitted by Jake. He was on episode 96. This was his submission. A 96 last time he was on. He has an awesome room. We showed all his photos. We'll show some more photos in a second. But how do you make this better? So let's go to the new photo. Oh wait, it's exactly the same. Let me point out, it's a little bit of like spot the difference. You could play along at home. Let's look at the desk specifically. Right in the middle, you see he's got those monitor cables. They're a little bit of a bitch, right? Well, how do you fix that? You get Matt Philly's favorite thing and you pop it in front. You can see he's got his headphones, different headphones, laying down. How do you remedy this situation? Well, you buy new headphones and put them on a stand in the same spot. I had a hard time kind of understanding the big differences. It's still an absolutely amazing clean setup, but let's show the rest of the room. First off, that is goals right there. To be in sort of like a little section with a nice bed. If you go look back at episode 96, you'll see updated the corner shelves, which is super cool. Obviously, no one can really see it unless they're spending the night. We get it, bro. You vape. Jake scored a 96. After asking the chat room, everybody decided that Julius walks away with first place. Thanks for watching the Pimp My Setup highlights for episode number 172.